Imagine Alice Cooper with about 1/100th the money.
If the Cramps had been a heavy metal band.
Crazy as H, blood-splattered, ear-splitting hilarity.
The Wizard of Oz meets splatter horror films.
The gag is, you're in the splash zone.
You're covered with goo and blood, and if you're not completely soaked, you didn't have a haunted garage show.
It's like going to a horror movie, except it's actually happening.
It's basically walking into the most brutal, gory film right in front of your face.
It was probably the best part of my life.
I think of him as a guy with commitment to his art.
That's Dookie. I mean, he wants to take it as far as he can take it.
You gotta see this band.
Wait a minute, you're gonna get this.
Oh, thank you.
Hello, it's me. There I am. Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. Welcome to VonPod on a Sunday this time. Tell me if you guys like the Sundays. I'm thinking of just moving all the shows to Sunday. I don't know. Thursdays, that was fun for a while. Let's try Sundays. Let me know what you think. Give me a comment. Yell at me on the Instagram. You know where to find me. We are here today. Oh man, I've been into this band for at least, I guess, about 20 years now. Jesus. Go Betty Go. Members of Go Betty Go are on the show today. Welcome, chat along with us. You can put your questions in the chat and we'll get to them throughout the show if you want to. I'm surrounded by my old Go Betty Go shirts. I think that's the really old one. I don't know if that fits me anymore, but it is super cool to look at, and it's kind of like, I guess I wore it so much it's like cracking, you know, like I'm kind of scared to use it anymore, but it looks great. What have I been up to? You guys, I went to 2 shows yesterday. Uh-oh. Well, that's just gonna live there for now. I went to 2 shows yesterday, keeping myself very busy. And the first one was an early show, and it started at 1 o'clock. Well, it was supposed to start at 1. You know how punk shows go. It was in a skate park in a strip mall. It was so, I mean, that's so cool. That's like the most punk rock thing. Right next to like a fancy fish restaurant. So they were a little bit at odds with each other with the punk bands and the skating and the fancy food dining. But isn't that the coolest dynamic? And then I went out to a late show, 11 o'clock it started in Brooklyn, a totally different state, by the way. And I'm not even sure if I can say the name of this band on YouTube, but they will be on the show at some point. And I want to show you this record. It came out this weekend on 4AD Records. Remember them? 4AD? It's holographic. So, wow. I just wanted to show and tell a little bit. I've been keeping very busy. I'm working on the documentary. I just filmed a music video for the Manimals. And not only did I film it, I'm also a character in it. And they will be on the show soon to talk about that as well. We're going to do a little release party. And it's Halloween month. Oh, and I played some shows with Green Jelly. You ever feel like you're in a midlife crisis moment where you just have to say yes to everything and do everything? That's kind of where I'm at right now. Do you ever feel like that? Maybe we'll ask Go Betty Go these questions. Today on VonPod. Okay, I got to get my theme song ready. Okay, today on VonPod.
VonPod. Welcome to VonPod. I've got chicken heads and deli creeps, scary monsters and super creeps on VonPod. You're listening to VonPod. With aliens and scum dogs, I hope you're here to chat along to VonPod. Welcome to VonPod. You're listening to VonPod. You're watching VonPod. VonPod.
Hello, Michelle and Emily from Go Betty Go.
Hi.
So, are you guys having a midlife crisis moment like that, or is it just me?
I haven't had one yet. Have you?
Every day.
Every day. See, we
Every day
relate
I'm
to each other.
hustling.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I got my midlife crisis jacket, and I'm just
Nice.
doing all the things. 2 shows on a Sunday. Jesus, can you imagine?
That's crazy. My only plan today was this.
Yeah.
Well,
Seriously.
me too. Yeah, me too. I not 2 shows today. Yesterday. And I first saw Go Betty Go. Okay, let me think. I don't even know how I first heard of you, but I can only imagine it was either MySpace or mp3.com. Do you remember mp3.com?
I don't remember that, but I definitely remember MySpace.
Yeah.
Sure.
So here's my first question then. Do you remember, as Go Betty Go, I guess this is a Michelle question. As Go Betty Go, do you remember your top 8?
You know, I mean, I'm sure it was the girls.
Right.
I don't remember everyone. Now, a funny thing about MySpace with me is I didn't have one for a long time. And then I started, we'd have our shows and we'd go to our shows. And then I started getting people coming up to me saying, hey, remember me? I'm so-and-so. We were chatting on MySpace and, we're friends. And I was just like, oh, but I don't have a MySpace. They're like, yeah, we were hanging out. We were talking. And I was just like, And so it happened more than once. And so we ended up looking and somebody had made a MySpace profile for me. And it was so funny because it's something that I would never do. It was like, you know how you can choose a background?
Mm-hmm.
The background was just pictures of only me.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, it was only me. And then my profile picture was obviously, just me. And yeah, they were like writing like they were Michelle from Go Betty Go and adding people and having chats. And so I ended up just making my own to be like, I'm the real one, guys.
Did you ever find out who was making those pages or no? Yikes, man, you were like the original fake account.
It was so weird. And I felt bad because like the people that would come up to me, I guess they would have long conversations with whoever this was. And then I was just like, I have no idea.
So at least they weren't, I mean, not that any guys don't go faking profiles and pretending you're other people, but it doesn't seem like they were trying to put on a scam. They were just actually trying to be you.
Yeah,
That's
hopefully
kind
they're
of
being
interesting.
nice,
Right, that's what I mean.
It seemed like with the people who came and talked to me about it, they
weren't
like
punching you.
Yeah, they had a pleasant conversation. So thank goodness for that.
Nice. So the first time I saw Go Betty Go, well, we were just talking off air, was in 2004. Is that right? Is that when your first EP came out?
It sounds about right. 2004, I think, is when we were touring a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We had done Warped Tour and then the tour that you saw us on.
Yes, I saw you at the knitting factory, the second knitting factory of many knitting factories in New York. Now there's, I think, a fourth one. It's the old Pyramid Club. I don't know if you remember the Pyramid. Yeah, the original knitting factory was actually in the garment district, and it was like an old garment space, I guess. It was like more avant-garde, like John Zorn used to do stuff there and stuff like that. And then it moved to where you played on Leonard Street, which was like a multi-level, cool, it was a great club. I saw a lot of great shows there. And then it moved to Brooklyn until recently, like the pandemic. And then now it's reopened, and then already reclosed for renovations, apparently, in the old Pyramid Club on Avenue A.
I think the knitting factory out here, there used to be one here in Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
right. Yeah. It's not there anymore?
No, that one closed down, but I
Aw.
think they now reopened a new knitting factory in North Hollywood.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they just found a different spot. It's a
Yeah.
little, but it's cool. I went and saw Bouncing Souls there, and it was
Oh,
fun.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
So
There's been a lot of venue turnover in Hollywood. It's crazy, especially post-pandemic. Like a lot of OGs are gonzo. I couldn't believe it when I went and thought I was going to the Key Club. I live right near in this part of Hollywood, and it was like a total dance club now. One Oak, like a full, like actual, like meet me at the Roxbury dance club.
That's how they make money. I don't know if punk shows make money anymore.
No.
It's very different now. We played Key Club together.
Mhm.
I do remember that.
Nice.
Mhm.
Well, when I saw Go Betty Go, you were not the singer yet. Originally. So yeah, that was at the Knitting Factory 2004, and I have a little surprise. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Oh my gosh, is it like a picture?
No, it's better than a picture.
The video.
Do you want me to play it? Do you want to see yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not.
Yeah.
This is way, before I had my professional cameras. This was just like a little tiny little. I don't know. Remember before this was before camera phones.
Oh, we're babies. Look how low I played my bass.
I love it.
Yeah, so there's like the whole show too.
Oh, that's so cool.
Um,
You look so pretty.
this was, and I want to note for the viewers, I was not a professional yet, so please don't judge my video
No, these
skills.
are the best videos to see. I love when things like this resurface.
Yeah, well, the whole thing's on YouTube if anyone wants to check it out. You were playing with the Voodoo Glow Skulls. I can't remember if any other bands played. You seem to think that Big D and the Kids Table played, but I don't remember them. Maybe they did. I also remember I had to leave early because I had to catch a train, so...
Oh, maybe you missed them. Yeah, because they were on this tour with us.
I caught at least some of the Voodoo Glow Skulls, and then I think we booked it out of there.
Got it. That was such a fun tour for us.
Yes, tell me about the tour. And was this the first time playing in New York? I'll keep this in the background a little bit.
I don't remember if it was the first time playing in New York. It may have been. I remember one of the first times that we were in New York, we were there for a bunch of shows, and then we had one day off. Well, one day off of shows, but it was like a press day. And so we were getting taken to like radio stations, all these different places, and kind of just being like, oh, and that's the Empire State Building. And that's that, and so it was a very fast touristy / press day for us. But it was super fun. So with this show, this is what I was telling you about.
Yes.
So we were on tour at this time. We had upgraded to an RV from our van with a trailer. We upgraded to an RV, which was the best thing ever. But we didn't know that we couldn't take our RV through. I think it's the Lincoln Tunnel. I'm not 100% of the name, but because of the propane tank, so we couldn't take it in. So we were already kind of running late to the show, and we had no time for the whole band to go take it across to the bridge that we had to go over. So we took all our guitars, we talked to the guys, and we're like, can we borrow your back line just so that we're just going to show up with all of our stuff? And so us girls, we all got into an Uber or a taxi. I think a taxi.
Yeah, I don't think Uber existed yet.
Yeah, Uber wasn't around then. So we got in a taxi that took us with like all our guitars and, probably Aixa's like cymbals and snare, all the essentials. And we literally got there in time to just run down. I remember their backstage had kind of like a down, like we entered from up and then we had to go down to the venue, and the backstage had like the stairs right there. It's very tight. Literally got there just to go on stage and play the show.
Wow. And here you are playing the show.
I know. It's so cool to see this video.
Crazy, right?
So young.
I'm pretty sure that's where I got this t-shirt.
Probably, yeah. Because that was one of our first designs.
Yeah.
Aww.
Very cool. So yeah, I've been a fan for a long time. And I'm glad to see that you still exist. That's one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you. Let's promote the new record, shall we? Look at it. I got it on vinyl right here. Black and Blue. New Go Betty Go from Wiretap Records. Did I get that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Hell yeah. No CD, just vinyl? What's the
just vinyl right now. We are going to some CDs.
Nice.
Hopefully sooner than later, and have those at our shows, because we still sell a good amount of CDs.
I would have bought both. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The vinyls I like to, display and play them when I can, but CDs, I actually still drive with a CD player. So I actually, it's a good excuse to get all my old CDs out. Here's my old CDs.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah, we are gonna have them in CD, the new one in CD.
You heard it here first. There's gonna be a CD. So let's talk about you a little bit, Emily, because I never got to see you live. You joined the band late. God,
2005.
I guess
2005 or 2006.
Only a year after this? Wow.
Yeah, I was 17 at the time.
I heard that. I couldn't believe it.
I lied about my age because I really wanted the opportunity, and I was down to clown.
You lied to the band?
Yeah, you had to be 18. And I feel like I was 6 months away, so I was like,
you're like, it's not
Yeah.
that.
no, maybe they won't notice until I'm really 18.
Did you notice?
For our 18th birthday party.
Yeah.
I don't think we did. We didn't notice probably until you told us.
Well, until we played a show.
Oh, true.
I was gonna say, did you have trouble getting into venues then? You know.
Well, they used to do it where you just like go up and go right on stage when it was your turn to play it, and then you'd have to go right out of the venue. But yeah, I auditioned for the band. At the time, I sang "You Want It All." I remember that very specifically because it's a super hard song to sing, and it's very screechy, and I practiced a ton, and I was just super thrilled. And when they said you got the job, it was my first job ever. And so
wow, yeah.
Well, I did work at a taco place, but
Sure.
yeah, it was just the best years of my life. I mean, it was super, super fun. We got to tour in that same RV. You know, there's no feeling quite like it, you know, like I have done a lot of music stuff in my life, but the highlight for sure has been Go Betty Go. I mean, being in a punk band with girls that you get along with, I mean, it's like just being in a weird vortex when you're in the van or in the RV and you're showering at truck stops. And it's kind of like this ultimate freedom that you feel like when you're on the road.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm just super pumped because I didn't think that a lot of those songs that we had written and played live would ever be recorded. And so when the girls reached out and said, hey, would you be down to, you know, throw a couple tracks on the EP, I was like ecstatic. And it feels great to be back on stage. And I do suffer from really crippling stage fright now, which is something new. But the last couple of shows, I feel like it's the best high there is. I mean, there's no drug that could take you as high as performing live with a punk band, because
totally.
It's not as fun. Pop is not as fun live. But yeah, it was a good run. 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. I don't even remember. And it definitely shaped
a good chunk of time.
Yeah, it shaped my entire future. Like it really, like, you know, it just was such a huge transformative age to be 17 and like just finding myself. And I remember at the time I was super depressed. I didn't know who I was. I liked music and I liked being on stage, but I fucking I hated
That's
music.
okay. We're over 10 minutes in, so the algorithm won't get us for it, I think.
I hated musical theater, and I did that a lot in high school because I thought, like, I like music and I like being on stage. And so of course, like, my mom was like super into that and really wanted me to go on Broadway and do that. And I just hated it. I hated it, but I couldn't figure out why. And then I realized when I was in this band, I was like, oh, because I'm a punk rocker and I want to be thrashing around on stage. I like chipped my front tooth on the microphone 4 or 5 times. And that's when you know that you're having the best time.
Wow. So there's like about 1 million questions in there that I need to ask. That was like a whole comprehensive history, and now I want to pick it apart a little bit. I'm amazed because from being in New York and I never you said you never played in New York with this band, right?
I don't think so. No, we got close.
I don't think I had any shows. Maybe one. It's amazing to hear now, looking back, that you were in the band for so long when, like, the original singer was, before that, was only in the band for, like, 2 years or something, like 3 years?
A little, maybe like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Shifted, when she left, and then Emily jumped in. Yeah.
How long did you exist before, you got signed and put out the first EP?
So the girls started in 2000. I came in, middle or January of 2000 maybe, and then I came in January of 2001.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so
is this true? You were in high school at the time?
Nicolette was in high school.
Nicolette was, okay.
Yeah, so she was in high school. The rest of us were probably 20. Like, I think once we started playing, we were 21, and Nikki was the only one that still had to kind of wait outside till we were about to play, and then she'd, come in. But yeah, we were all really young, That was one of our first, everyone in the band, that was pretty much our first serious project.
That's what I was going to ask for both of you. Was there any bands before Go Betty Go? And even if it was like a silly, not serious project, what was it called?
Well, in high school, we had like a little group that played once on the quad. I was just telling my son about this. And I think we were called Damn Skippy or something like that. We played like 3 cover songs at lunchtime on this quad. And I'm so surprised because now that I think about it, I'm just like, I would be so nervous now to do something like that. I'm surprised that.
And that age too.
Yeah, and we had, because I went to Hamilton High, which is a music academy. Well, we have a music academy in that school, and so there were a lot of musicians there, and it was just, I don't know. Now that I think about it, I'm like, man, we were a little gutsy to do that, but it was fun. And then I had
was
another.
Was it like a punk rock thing, or?
We played cover songs, so I remember that lunchtime. I think we played "Peaches" by the United States Presidents.
Yeah.
And then we played Sweet Dreams, but the Marilyn Manson version.
Nice.
And I remember the other song. But it was just funny. And we would practice at my house on the weekends. I think my parents were like, just come here. It's better that you guys are doing something fun and safe here than just being out on the streets somewhere. Not that I would do that anyway, but, I think they just liked having it just closer at home. And then I had one other band. We were a Spanish-English band. We played kind of all kinds of music. That was called Todos Vuelven. And so that band played a show with this other band called The Peak Show. And they had a drummer named Gabriel. And Gabriel was, at the time, helping the girls record some songs. And so when he met me, the girls needed a bass player. So he was just like, I need to introduce you to these girls. And so he linked us together. And then that was
the rest is history.
Yeah, changed my life.
And what's the English translation of that band?
Everyone Returns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emily, did you have any bands in high school?
Actually, yes.
And what musicals did you do as well?
I was Maria in The Sound of Music.
Ooh.
The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Is that going to be the next Go Betty Go cover?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. For sure. No, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to show you something.
Okay. Ooh, we like show and tell because it's a video show.
I'm a big fan of musicals. I didn't know that she was in musical theater.
Oh, good. Well, you can ask her questions here too.
I'm very excited about this. Oh, it's a big something.
Okay, so this was the first press shoot I did. I was 15.
I can't see it. We can't see it.
I'm
okay.
I was 15 years old. It was an electro pop project called Emily Electric, and my first EP was called Disco Ball Sack. And this is the cover.
Wow.
Nice.
Who is that?
That's me.
That's you?
That's me.
Oh my god.
See, Michelle didn't even recognize you.
I did it. It's so good. This should be like a t-shirt or something.
Disco Ball Sack, baby.
And so did you actually recorded something and put it out, or?
Oh, sure did. I have to find it. I don't even know where it is.
Yes, that needs to be on Spotify tomorrow, please. And what kind of music was that?
It was like what?
She's coming back. She was just
yeah.
It was naughty. It was naughty girl. Almost like imagine Peaches, kind of like that, like kind of sassy, naughty girl.
Not the song by Presidents of the United States. The artist Peaches.
Reminded me.
Just to clarify.
It was like kind of like it was just sort of electro pop, but like with like a dirty, naughty lyric. And it was a 3-piece, and we used to play a lot of raves. And back in the day, my mom, I know I was a naughty little girl. But my mom was always super supportive, and she would like drive me to these like weird abandoned warehouses in downtown LA and like wait in the car because I was like, you can't come in with me, Mom. Like it's a rave. And there was 2 other goth girls in the band that looked fabulous, super goth, and we would go into these raves, and there was no PA. It's a rave. Like there was just a microphone, and we had tracks, and they fake played live. There was like
no amps, no. Oh my god.
No, and neither of them even like I don't even think they knew how to play any instruments, but they looked the part.
That's amazing. I really want to hear this.
Well, I want to see a video.
Yeah, do you have any videos?
I hope not.
Oh.
But yeah, that was 15, and that was pretty
Wow.
much, and then everything else was like just choir stuff. Like I always knew I was my mom was in a band till I was 10. I grew up in Hollywood. Like I've always been music first, but Go Betty Go at 17 was just like, oh, they have their shit dialed and real amps and they know how to play.
I know at 17, like Jesus, I couldn't imagine being on a record label and touring legitimately, and that's incredible.
It was a dream come true, and it still is. It still feels like a weird dream. And then,
right, so yeah, skip to now, and you got some of the songs. First time I heard this, I had no context, and I was like, that's not Nicolette. What's going on here?
Yeah, they're very, very different styles, and we like that.
Of vocals, yeah. No, yeah, totally.
We're all about that. I mean, when Emily came in, we weren't necessarily looking for someone that was going to sound just like, Nicolette after that left, because we didn't just want to replace, just her whole vibe. So when Emily came in, we're just
I was like, there's no accent. I don't get it.
No. But she learned.
When I first saw you in the band, like years ago. Yeah.
There's a bunch of YouTube videos of Emily playing with the band, and Emily learned, I don't even know if you know what you're saying, but
sometimes
she learns all the Spanish songs.
I was going to ask.
And sang them almost perfectly. Like you would believe that she spoke Spanish.
Well, that was.
Do you speak Spanish?
Poquito. Necesito más margaritas. Y cuando estoy borracha soy muy bueno.
So she knows the important stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the lyrics to Go Betty Go songs.
Right. No, I do speak enough Spanish, but not as much as people thought I did when they heard me sing those songs. And we played one show. It was like an attempt of like a Latin Warped Tour. And I don't know if that was when I was wearing the Chaco outfit.
No, I didn't play that one. I remember watching.
It was on Halloween, and I thought everyone would be wearing costumes, and no one else was. And I was the only one in a costume, and I dressed like a taco at this Latin Warped Tour festival that was very ill-attended. And then afterwards, everybody started talking to me in Spanish. And at that point, I was just like, oh my God. Like, do I say something or should
in LA or where was this?
This was like in somewhere really elevated, like Bakersfield.
Oh,
like somewhere really like Fontana. Like no one's ever been there once again. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's phonetics is a thing, I think because as a vocalist, like my dad's from England and I have family in Germany. And I think when I was at a young age, I was exposed to a lot of different languages. And so for me, Spanish, if you just learn the vowels and the cadence and the phrasing, it was easier than actually you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did a great job. I feel like you also sang Son Mis Locuras when you auditioned.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you did. And I think that tripped us out because we're just like, she doesn't speak Spanish, but she sounds. It's like
it's a good
so
song.
Good.
Oh yeah, it's one of my favorites. I have no idea what they're saying, but I love it.
Fun to play.
Super punk rock,
Yeah.
Well, I want to play this. I didn't shoot this. Someone on YouTube. Let me pull it up. How do I do that? Because I was like wondering, like, okay, so now you have a couple songs on the record. What are the live shows going to be like? You've been coming out with them, or was that just the record release show?
If they'll have me, I'll go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down for anything. So like anytime they allow it, I will be there. But yeah, we did a short little run this last weekend. Oh my God, I haven't seen this. I'm scared.
Oh really? I wanted to play this song because it's been in my head all week.
They are
Oh,
so
no.
really cool outfit songs.
Yeah.
So weird to see herself. I'm just like, I
Is
can't
it?
tell if I love it or hate it.
What's the hate about it?
I recently lost 40 pounds.
Oh,
I'm getting
congrats.
married in November, and I'm just, as a female and as an entertainer, it's just hard to body dysmorphia is a thing. And sometimes when you see videos of yourself from the crowd, it is not the most ideal angle. And so it's truly in my most vainest of like, who fucking cares? It's punk rock, like chill the fuck out. Like I just look at myself and I'm like, I can't tell if I like it. I don't know.
It's a lot of great, Emily. It's great.
Yeah, I love it. We this was at our EP release, and we have a group chat, and Nikki suggested, hey, why don't we do like a sailor type theme for this show? And all of us right away were like, yep, we got stripes, we have stuff.
Yeah, say less. Let's go.
I have questions about that. Maybe that's a good segue. Well, first, I just wanted to note that I think it's cool that she's still there doing background vocals. It's like, there's a band that just came out called Daisy Grenade. They're like a pop punk. Like I think they've been touring with Fall Out Boy and stuff. Which is not really my genre, but they have 2 female lead singers, and I think that's like so cool.
Yeah.
So I'm just putting that out there. Let it go.
Honestly, it's so rad. The vibe is not weird at all. It's totally supportive. And like, I think because we're so different musically, like it's a really cool dynamic and it adds like a whole layer of a vibe. And I mean, these girls I've known now, I mean, I'm 37 and I was 17 when I joined the band for the first time. So I've known them for a very long time. And so it does feel, I mean, it's under unfortunate circumstances, obviously, that prompted the creation of this record. And of course, our love and our joy as a group is awesome, but I don't think it would have happened otherwise. And so I'm very grateful. But yeah, I just couldn't be more ecstatic to be involved in any capacity. But yeah, no, if they ask me, I will go to any show.
Okay, I want to talk about sailors. Because I mean, obviously, it's also like the whole theme of the record. So I get that image, but has this been like a thing throughout your career that I'm just noticing? Because I even listening back to Your Worst Enemy, there's a line about like being lost at sea or something like that.
But that's true.
Are you a sailor band and we just never realized? Like what's happening there?
I think we're just now realizing we are too, because we also have on Nothing Is More, we have the pirate song that
I was gonna say yes, the pirate song too.
Nothing to do with pirates at all.
Right.
We called it the pirate song. It was just when that song was coming about in the studio, it just sounded piratey. So when we'd go back and work on that, we'd always just be like, let's play the pirate song. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you got like accordions and stuff on it on the record and stuff.
Yeah, so on the pirate song, our producer Ted Hutt, he played the banjo, and then he brought in the accordion from the Pogues, and he played the accordion on there. So,
that's so cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to see him just come in and just do his part. Like he just listened to it. To me, it sounded like he just listened to it once and was like, "All right, I got it," and he came in. And now we have this. So Nicolette created this.
Well, it's like 2 notes. The verses are like 2 notes, so I get it.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so Nicolette created the album for Black and Blue.
The artwork. Nicolette's an insane.
And the music video, by the way, right? Which is incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll play that in the background. Let's see if I get in trouble on YouTube for this.
So good.
Probably not.
Yeah, I hope not.
No, we're giving you permission, right?
I know, but in the middle of the stream, sometimes I've gone down. For like playing copywritten material.
But I don't think we have the infrastructure for claiming.
Good. We're playing it. So yeah, this is super impressive. And I heard Nicolette created it. Did she make all the artwork too and everything?
Yeah,
Wow.
she's the one doing all the artwork. She does all of our merch. When we talked about this video, she had an idea, kind of an idea of what she pictured in her head. So she was just like, let's go in, film this green screen, and then she just kind of took everything and created this. And so all of us were kind of like, all right, well, let's see what happens. And then when she showed us the beginning clips, we were just blown away.
Yeah.
And we couldn't believe it. It was just so good.
She used a Mid-Journey, as I understand it. Like, she's very into like using really cool new mediums and experimenting with AI stuff. And her other job, believe it or not, is she designs incredible movie posters. Like,
that's what I heard. Yeah.
Everything, everywhere, all at once. Like, she just is, the creativity in that woman is insane.
Yeah. So good.
I didn't even notice until recently that that's a hand on the cover of Wave. Like on the actual
Wait,
cover.
what?
Hand's grabbing. It's
Oh my God. You're right. I didn't notice that either.
No.
Yeah.
That's so. Why sailors? You haven't answered my question.
We have a song called "Party at Sea,"
Right.
and I think when we first were recording these songs, we didn't really know what the end result was really going to be. We were just kind of doing it one at a time. We started this, working on these songs right before COVID, and then COVID shut everything down, so we paused. And then when we were going to start back up, it's when we got Betty's cancer diagnosis, so that kind of stopped us for a minute as well. And we just kind of started recording little bits and pieces here, depending on how she was feeling. So whenever she was good, we would all just, go to the studio with her, and we're just all there being very supportive. And so we didn't really know everything what we were going to really do. We were just planning on just kind of putting them out as singles, and then if we had enough stuff, we'd do like an EP. And so we had this song "Party at Sea," and I think a lot of it, which is this one from the video,
Right.
inspired a lot of that idea for her, like of the artwork. And as soon as she showed us that ship, we loved it. We all were all about it. And there's also a cute detail that she has, which is a compass. I think it's on the album cover, but she put all of, instead of like our directions.
Oh yes, right here.
She put all of our initials. And then once Emily
Easter eggs.
Yeah, and then once Emily came into the picture, on the actual record, on one side that has the songs with Nicolette, it's the 4 initials, and then on the side with Emily's songs, it has Emily's initial.
I didn't even know that.
Wow. We are learning things today. So
we had
See, there you go.
Oh my gosh, how cute!
Yeah, I love all that stuff.
We had a really cool fan that came to a show that we played in Irvine a week ago. Is that only a week ago?
Oh yeah, I forgot about those
And
things.
he 3D printed real actual versions of the compass, and it was awesome to see.
Who has those? Aixa? Did you stay in the band?
I have mine.
Oh, okay.
all right, fans, step it up. You got to start getting these tattoos.
I know. Well, and also Nicolette's boyfriend is a tattoo artist as well.
See, there you go.
If that played into some of the flash nature.
That might have been like a big influence, because I know that he has a lot of his artwork, around their place, and maybe just looking at that all day. He has his own shop in Koreatown. Shout out to Queen's Head Tattoo Shop. So, they're both very artsy. I think art is just in their life 24/7, and it just worked out, and she was able to come up with that, and we love it.
And they're so cute, and you should see
so
them.
cute.
They're like the mod Barbie and Ken. Like,
Yeah, I follow her Instagram.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're like outfits. I'm always like, oh,
I know.
you guys are
They're
so
such good
cute.
style.
By the way, Michael Kotak, I hope I said that right, is here. He thinks you're awesome. This
Thank
was
you, Michael.
throughout
That's so sweet.
and I guess he was at the release show.
Oh, awesome.
If anyone out there has any questions, put them in the chat. Oh yeah, here's what I wanted to ask. So are there more Emily songs like from the past that haven't been recorded yet? Or what's the archive like of material? Is this it?
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
Some more. I remember there was one that the chorus was kind of like, shut up, shut up.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
We have them on a demo somewhere that Phil recorded.
Oh, okay.
There's The Price of Happy, which actually became
We Talk a Lot.
We Talk a Lot. So there was this song, I didn't put two and two together, but some of the old songs were recycled and reimagined with a different top line. And one of them is on this record called We Talk a Lot. But there's a bunch. There's, I have to go back and find those demos because there are a handful. And it is wild to hear how amazing they feel on a recorded vinyl. This is the first time I've ever been on a vinyl.
Oh, yeah.
And it's pretty sick. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that we can just record them just to have them down, and whether they come out or not, at least they'll be, recorded.
They'll be there,
but yeah.
Yeah, and how about a music video for one of your songs? You got to get in one of those music videos, right?
I think there's one in talks, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I'm excited. I think it's been discussed, but we might be doing one for City Lights.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's the single right there. That's a really catchy song. I can't get it out of my head.
It's such a good song, and we're all LA girls, and we had our other LA song that
we're from LA
to do like a video, but just we didn't really do too much with that album.
Right.
So now with this song, we're just like, yes, that's the one that we got to do.
You're gonna recycle all these LA ideas for this one?
Well, we didn't even really have any.
Oh, okay.
But I just always thought we're from LA, so I think that would be good. And so this song is just perfect. It's perfect for that, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun.
So let me talk about LA for a minute since we're on the topic. Well, first of all, I have to ask, have you had any encounters with green jelly? Do you have any green jelly stories?
Green jelly?
I've never had it. Like a jalapeno jelly, or is that a band? Or like
Oh no.
Like Nickelodeon slime?
They're like LA underground art royalty.
Oh
green
shit.
Jelly?
I look a lot cooler than I am, so I totally
Yeah, you may have just missed. See, I just turned 40 and it was like huge when I was like 9. So you may have just missed them. Three Little Pigs, yes, they are. I'm
okay.
One of the over 1,000 members of the band currently. But they were really big in like 1993. Three Little Pigs. It was like a claymation video.
Oh, that's cool.
Maynard, like that's how like the members of Tool met and everything.
Oh, wow.
And here's a fun fact related to you, Emily. I think. Of course I wasn't there at the time. But they did a single with Hulk Hogan produced by Simon Cowell.
Oh my God. Blast from the past.
Yeah, so we can talk about that now too, I guess. Like you were on American Idol.
Yeah.
How did that go? I could only find the audition. I don't know if there's any more to it.
I really wish that they had the video of me crying as I was eliminated because it's so sad. I know my little pink hair.
Was it on TV though? It was aired.
Yeah. Full cry hard.
You didn't tape it? You don't have a copy?
I mean, I don't know. It was like right in that cusp. Like I remember specifically because social media this is so crazy to think how things have evolved. But like I just remember Twitter had just barely come out, and it was like nobody had like, I think I was on my Motorola Razr or whatever. So like there was just
we couldn't document the same way or save a lot of stuff. My parents, I remember one day they were just like, have you seen the new American Idol like promo video or whatever? And I was just like, no. And I just thought it was so random because they love that show. And then they're just like, you have to come see it. And so like they played it, and it was Emily, and I was just like, whoa, what in the world? Because I wasn't in the band anymore when.
Oh, right. Okay.
And so I was like, oh my gosh. And so my parents were all about watching, and I think they recorded some of it, but it was just when it was like direct
DVR.
DVR. And so that's how I would watch it, because they would record it. And so whenever I'd go over to visit, then we'd play it and watch it. They were rooting for you.
My
I'm
mom,
sure they voted for you too.
my mom, she was the one. She was like, "Please, just come on, just do this show. It's fine. It's for me, not you." And as I don't know. I think I was 20, maybe, or 21, and I thought it was like the least cool thing ever, and I was just embarrassed about it, and I didn't want to admit that I was doing it, and so I didn't tell the band. And I didn't realize that they were going to use my audition as like a promo for the whole show.
Whoops.
So it was that was the first time that happened. It did happen again on The Voice, in not the same way, but my intention with that was really just to try it and just give my mom her piece. Like, she loved the show at the time. And I actually knew Adam Lambert from just like being in Hollywood and like running in similar circles and whatever. And so I was surprised to see him on the show. And obviously now he's the singer of Queen and drives a Bentley. But it was one of those weird, surreal experiences. Like, as somebody I've always been in music, whether it's in the industry as a performer or as a business music person. And I think that show was a really big wake up moment of like the actual music business, which fucking sucks. Like, I love music and I love the band and I love performing and I love writing songs. At that point, I did not realize that some of the majority of the songs on the radio were not written by those artists.
Right.
Like, I didn't know that. I mean, I just remember like having like that aha moment during the process of, it's so formulated and it's so like, we filmed for probably 50 hours for like 2 minutes of footage to actually it was a wild experience. It was so inorganic. It was just, I didn't love there was like these 6 foot tall model girls that sounded like Amy Winehouse. And of course they're making it through every single thing. And then you've got this kid who's like clearly someone that they want to make fun of, but they're telling him that like, you're great, just go out and get him. And he's like having a literal panic attack. And so that whole exploitation of people and at the expense of their lives. I mean, people like quit their jobs. Like, the whole process is way longer than you'd think. And I just remember feeling this like deep sadness, because it was like music was my religion for so long. And I still feel like there's a part of me that is like, music is my guiding force and my light of everything. But having that experience really put things into perspective. And I didn't realize how green and naive I actually was until doing that show. And, you know, it was great. I logged into my MySpace and I had 300,000 friend requests. Like, that's when that's when the light bulb went off, where I was like, oh shit, like, this is a vehicle. And unfortunately, like, the band did not see it that way. And I should have been honest. And that was my bad. And so it was a really difficult time, because at the same time, I lost the show. I lost the respect from my bandmates. I lost at that point, my long-term boyfriend, and all in the span of 2 weeks. Like, it was just everything all at once. And it was a moment in time in my life where it was really gnarly. It was gnarly. At that point, it was so personally, like, it hit me so hard on so many levels that I just didn't want to think about music anymore. And I was just like, I was sad. I was like, it was like, you know, finding out that God isn't real, you know, like, I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Don't tell anyone. At that point, I just was like, fuck it. I'm just going to get a job at a tech company and see what happens. And that's what I did.
And
wow.
I think
Go ahead.
With the American Idol thing and the band, I wasn't in the band at this time, but this is just what I had heard. It was just because it just fell out of all the times, it just fell when they were supposed to go to Europe, right? And so it could have messed that up. You know?
Yeah, you mentioned that in the audition. That was my big question. Did they go to Europe or no?
Yeah, we went. We sure went. We did go. And you know, there was a delay. It's like a filming delay. It's 3 months before anything actually happens. It's a 3-month delay. So I knew I wasn't on the show. I totally freaked at the last minute and changed because I was like, this isn't who I am. They're trying to turn me into Pink, and I like Pink, and she's a great singer, but like I'm a punk rocker. And so there was a round of like the live performance round where you could pick any song that you wanted to sing. And I prepared a really sick version of I Put a Spell on You, like a Nina Simone rendition of it that sounded sick. And like my mom was like, sounds great. And at the last minute, I switched and did Excuse Me, Mister, a No Doubt song. And it was great. I love it. And that's who my heart, just because I can sing like Kelly Clarkson doesn't mean that that's how I feel and how I want to perform and how I want to, you know, identify as an artist. And so at the last minute, I switched and did like a really aggressive No Doubt version. And then that's when I got voted off the show. But it was also like, it was great.
Could have gone with Screamin' Jay Hawkins.
Right. I know, huh? But we did end up going to that Europe tour, and it was pretty crazy. I mean, it was like, tour is gnarly. I mean, it's fun and it's freedom and it's awesome, but it's a lot of work, and
it's a lot of waiting around for things to happen too.
For sure.
Driving, and they did this in the snow.
Oh, I packed a pair of cowboy boots and a pair of Chuck Taylors. And
yeah, because you're from LA, you don't do snow.
No,
we know snow here.
We don't know snow. And I was like ice skating around in my pink cowboy boots. And I like, it was like negative 20 degrees in Slovenia.
Jeez.
And it was like, we're not playing at fancy venues. We're playing in dive bars. Like, I'm pretty sure I got sexually assaulted on the first date.
Oh, man.
And I was singing on top of a pool table because the stage wasn't big enough. And it was back then, it was like, you know, like it's definitely like some of the most exhilarating, fun. I would have never seen so much of the world if it wasn't for this band.
Right.
Shoot,
what happened?
Sorry, no, it's me.
Oh, I mean, you're still here with me. I don't know.
Can you see us?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, perfect.
You're back.
Yay.
Sorry, someone called really quick.
Oh. All right, so let me shift topics a little bit, and then we'll land this plane soon. I wanted to do another show and tell, because that's part of what's fun about this show. Of course, I have the Reboot record, and it's signed by everybody.
Nice.
Yay. And I guess the real question I had about this was about the cover song, because when I first listened to it, you don't notice it until you hear it, and I'm like, I know this song.
Oh, yes. I was I forgot about it.
Yeah, and here's another show and tell, because I have an original. Apparently, this is pretty rare, but the original Elastica vinyl. What's the story with that song? And have you done any other covers? That's the only one you've recorded, right?
Only one we've ever recorded. I think for that Reboot, we were wanting to have an extra song, and so Nicolette and I are big Elastica fans.
Yeah.
And I think she suggested, what about Stutter? Because we had played it. I want to say in English as a cover song at some shows, just, you know, when we needed to extend our set list and we didn't have enough Go Betty Go songs at the time. So we would play some cover songs. So that was one of the songs that we liked to play a lot. And so we were all down to record it, but then it was just kind of like, oh, we don't have a Spanish song on this album.
Right.
And then we're like, why don't we do it in Spanish? And then Nikki translated all the lyrics, and I love how it came out. I heard her version after we had already recorded the music. I came into the studio and they played it for me, and it was the best. It was so good. Yeah,
I was so surprised and happy. I don't think I've ever heard any other Alaska covers, strangely enough. Do you know if they ever heard it?
I have no idea. I mean, if they were ever to reach out to me, I'd be like, oh my God.
Justine, come on the show. We'll talk about Go Betty Go anytime.
That's amazing. I did see them live once. I want to say it was maybe Lollapalooza out in Irvine Meadows. Nice. I was still in high school, and I went out with my cousin. My parents dropped us off, and we hung out the day. I think Hole played and Elastica played. It was such a good show.
Wow. Yeah, I never got to see them. Yeah, Elastica. Come back, Elastica. The world needs you. Did Go Buddy Go ever do any other cover songs or plan on any?
When I started playing with the girls, they were playing in the rotation Metro by Berlin.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, they were playing that song. What else have we done? I know
I could see that on like that keyboard part is like the guitar riff. Nice.
Yeah, so it was just a little more rock. When they
I could totally hear that in your music too now. Like now that you say it.
Yeah, we should bring it back.
Yes, you should bring it back.
We did a mean Frosty the Snowman for Christmas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we did Halloween, the Misfits Halloween.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, it is spooky season. It is October. Do you personally or as a band have any Halloween plans?
We do. So our Halloween plan, Emily is as she mentioned earlier, she's getting married, and so her engagement party that we've all been invited to is Halloween themed.
You gonna wear your taco outfit?
No, actually, I spent way too much money on a Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, that makes
we're
total
going
sense.
to the classic monsters. I live Halloween. It's Halloween all year long for me. Like my house is. My mom says it's scary. I drew the line at. I wanted to get a life-size statue of the creature of the Black Lagoon, but in a one-bedroom apartment in Hollywood, it's not that practical.
Yeah.
I mean, it could fit.
It could fit. But yeah, no, for sure.
You can make it work.
Long. But yeah, big Halloween party on October 26th.
We're so excited.
Nice.
We're already getting our costumes.
Are you?
Yeah. Do you have? Are you allowed to reveal what you're gonna wear, or is it a surprise for her?
I mean, we kind of mentioned it in the van. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a group of us. We're gonna do a League of Their Own. So we're getting.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Like the original or the remake?
The original. The costumes from the.
So who's Madonna?
I think Nicolette should be Madonna because right now she has her bob haircut and she's growing out her bangs so they're a little long, so she can do the whole little cute flip thing.
Nice pictures, please, pictures.
Definitely, I'll probably be like injured, so I'll have like blood on me somewhere, and I think someone should do that big bruise on the leg for the movie.
Nice. Wait, so who's doing the rest of the Universal Monsters, and is there going to be a Phantom of the Opera?
I don't think anyone that I'm aware of is doing the rest of the Universal Monsters. I wish. And I don't know. I don't know. I only know what I'm going to be. I don't know, other than them, I don't know what anyone else's plans are. I always take it really seriously and start planning like almost to the day after and just love it so much. Like half of my closet is costumes. So when they're like, let's do sailor. And I was like, should we be sexy sailor?
Yeah.
Like, more of like a real sailor or combination thereof? Like, do you guys need extra captain hats? Like, you guys
like I have accessories, guys.
I have 12 light up cowboy hats if we want to do a cowboy theme.
See, I always love Halloween, but I never have a costume like ready. It's weird. What's wrong with me?
Well, there's a lot of people like that. You just have to commit early and start looking around online. And if you're like me, it's like game over. Like before you know it, like I have giant industrial goth boots and like the full everything.
See, that's the thing. I like hang out in the goth industrial scene and stuff like that. So for us, it's kind of like
normal.
Like you, it's just like all around, like all year round. We're just already like this. So I could just dress normally, and people would think I'm in costume. You know.
You should.
But is that cheating? Like you know.
Yeah, no. You should. You have to dress like a normie. You have to dress like a normal like guy.
And no one would recognize you from
Well, here's a funny quick story. I have a Daria costume. I think I did that on the show here once. If you want to go back and look, I even played the theme song.
La 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 la.
Yeah, I actually saw one of the bands yesterday at the skate park played that as a cover.
Oh, that's sweet.
So that's a whole side story. But I was working Halloween night or a Halloween weekend party at like a goth industrial party. And I was doing my Daria thing, and it was so dark that it just looked like I was in bad drag, and people couldn't figure out who I was or what I was. So it was kind of a fail.
Well, it might also be,
But the skirt was very freeing.
The younger generation may not know.
That too, yeah.
like my son dressed as Marty McFly one year, and you know, because he's a big Back to the Future fan, and we live right by USC, a school out in LA, and they were having, you know, a Halloween festival for the community and for the kids, and so we went, and he even had a hoverboard. Like, we made a hoverboard, we bought all the tapes, and like we did all of it. He looked so cute. And a lot of the students were like, oh, and who are you supposed to be? And I was just like, what? He looks just like him.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense though.
Yeah, they just didn't know. And
That
so
movie's old now. It's
it
from
is.
the 1800s.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it freaks me out really when people don't know things like The Wizard of Oz or haven't seen any of like the normal 2D animated Disney movies that we all like grew up on. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Well, they've been remaking them in live action now, so
and they're so bad. They're the worst.
I liked Aladdin. That was pretty nice. I liked that one.
I did like it. And do you know the other ones that like Shelley
Little Mermaid? Nah.
Yeah, I know.
I liked Lady and the Tramp.
I didn't see that one.
That one was really cute. My cat was really interested in that one.
Okay.
Cute. Well, cool. So I'm super excited to watch back and watch this interview. It's super fun to do. You are such an engaging music lover, and it's been so easy to chat. I feel like you're right. We could talk 3 more hours.
But I won't. I'll ask you one more question, then I'll let you go. Are there any? Okay, this is a two-parter, I guess. When you were starting out in the scene in LA, well, I guess Emily, were you in the scene before Go Betty Go? And if so, like, what were the bands that you were seeing?
I used to like metal. Like, I used to love this band, My Ruin.
Oh, Terry B.
Yeah.
I saw Tora Satana once.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, My Ruin was like my first like, please mom, drive me to the whiskey, please, and like sit outside for like 3 hours for no reason because it's not sold out. But yeah, I was more into the goth scene. I was at clubs, like they used to have one called Perversion and like Club Bang and Moscow and of course Das Bunker. And so it wasn't really like, I wasn't really in the like going to shows scene because and then I met one of my best friends who's still a good friend today on MySpace. And he was ultimately,
full circle.
Yeah, he was ultimately the guy that was like, hey, there's this really sick band and they're looking for a singer. Like, you should go audition. And I think that was kind of, I remember my first CD I got that was like, oh my God, this makes me feel different. I love this. And it was Fat Records for Fat People.
Oh yeah, I have that.
Compilation. But, you know, at 16, 17, you're just like, you know, stealing your mom's car and getting tattoos. And, you know, I didn't really
I guess that's your story.
Yeah.
You guys didn't do that?
I didn't.
I still don't have any tattoos, if you can believe it.
I got my first tattoo at 18. I went to Venice Beach, walked into a shop and was like, I want this one.
Maybe that's, yeah.
I'm an adult.
If you
maybe
had
that's part of my midlife crisis.
Yeah. If you had to, you have to do it and you have to make the decision right now.
I've thought about it. It's just like, you know, it's not as important to me to other things, so I don't want to like spend money on it. It's mostly what it is.
But if money was no option,
yeah. I'd get and here's you can get these stickers on Bandcamp. My green Jello logo. That's my green Jello character. And I would get that with the number of my band number, which is 237 out of over 1,000 now.
Wow.
So that's probably what I would get.
Okay, now I'm gonna totally do a deep dive.
Green Jello, LA underground royalty.
No, I'm
Green Jelly, yes, it's the same thing.
Huge poser. I'm a huge poser. Let's be honest.
That's okay. You just missed it. But I mean, they during the pandemic or right after the pandemic, they were doing like weekly or monthly. No, I guess it was weekly variety shows at the Whiskey.
Oh, that's cool. That's right down the street.
They might still do stuff like that at the Whiskey.
Well, now they're on tour, you know, so instead of doing pandemic shows, they were like, you know, now they're just playing shows, which I will be playing. Let me promote a little bit for myself. So Green Jelly now is like a weird blob band where if you were ever in the band, you kind of show up to the show near you. So it's technically like a slightly different band every single night.
That must be a long guest list.
Yeah, I think the band is the guest list, basically. But if anyone in the East Coast is around in Pittsburgh, of all places, we're playing Halloween at the Hard Rock Cafe.
That's sick.
Have you heard of First Jason?
No.
So First Jason is the band of the kid who played Jason in the first Friday the 13th movie, who pops out of the water at the end. He's got a punk band and it's called First Jason.
That's cool.
That is such a good lore.
Yeah, so I'm excited to meet him. I guess he does the convention rounds and everything, you know.
Oh, I'm sure he has a lot of cool memorabilia. Down the street, there used to be, it was kind of weird. Like for someone who grew up in Hollywood, like I don't go to Hollywood. Like I live near the chaos of it all and the, people wearing the outfits on Hollywood Boulevard and stuff. But there was, for a short time, there was this crazy museum of costumes, like iconic costumes. This billionaire guy is obsessed with like movie memorabilia. And so he just had accumulated so much, like everything from one of the actual Edward Scissorhands to one of the original Jason masks to actually the real Chucky doll. And like I went 3 or 4 times and it was really poorly put on. Like everything was kind of just pushed into a corner. And it's like, I'm looking at the original Penguin Oswald, like Penguin from the Batman movie, and it's like peeling off because it's not like climate controlled. Like it was very weird scenario, but total tangent. My apologies.
That's great.
I love all that stuff.
That's super cool. I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was just it was so much, millions of dollars worth of movie props, like tons of stuff from Jurassic Park, Star Wars, all of that. Nice. But the horror stuff is what gets me.
Wow. Well, we'll be surrounded by, I played at that Hard Rock once and we have, I think Peter Criss's drum set is up there and stuff like that.
Cool. So, yeah, because they have really cool memorabilia.
We'll have rock memorabilia and maybe he'll bring some Jason stuff. I don't know what he brings with him.
Hopefully he does. I mean, if you're playing on Halloween.
I know. Isn't that so cool? I was just like, oh, I have to do this show. Halloween with the First Jason.
Yeah.
And his band called First Jason. That's like just hilarious.
Up like Jason.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, if you see in the corner there, I have a Jason mask that was worn by Haunted Garage, the LA shock rock band I'm making a documentary about. If you know anything about Haunted Garage and Dookie Flyswatter, definitely look that up too.
Hell yeah. Definitely. Well, please hit us up if you're in town and we'll do the same on, they're playing in Chicago.
We're playing Chicago. That's, I think, as close as we're getting to the East Coast for now.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, if you come to New York or anywhere near New Jersey.
Yeah, we're waiting for Betty to get completely healthy, and she's doing amazing.
Right, I should ask that too. How's Betty doing? Of course.
Right now she's doing great. I think she got over a really tough part of healing after this really hard surgery that just had a lot of complications. And she's getting ready to do her hopefully last surgery and then a few chemo things. But, I saw her the other day and we had a good time. And
she's a warrior. She
really is. I mean,
there's so much stuff, and she still smiles and still has, a good outlook. I think that's been key. She's stayed really positive, and she has so many of us just in her life, just we're there for her whenever she needs anything. So we can't wait for her to come back on stage and then for us to all play. It'll be so fun.
Dream come true.
And then maybe we will go to East Coast for a minute.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yes, and I think it's still going, the GoFundMe, right? I'll put that in the description.
Yes.
I remember I donated when it first came up.
Thank you so much.
Of course, yeah. And awesome. Let me show what everyone, the next show is coming up in the spirit of Halloween. This is our Hallowmas. Do you know anything about the World Inferno Friendship Society?
No, but it sounds sick.
Well, if you know, you know. And this is gonna be intense. We lost the singer a couple years ago. It was it's undescribable. It's hard to describe what they were. It was more than a band, and this is the co-founder. That started with just the two of them, so we're gonna go in deep, hopefully, about that. And then the Manimals video release party, which I was saying in the intro. I just filmed a video for my friends, the Manimals. It's bloody. I play a character. Be excited about that.
Looks
you like?
fun.
Yeah.
What's that?
Looks so fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I can't wait to see how it all comes together. Are you fans of Guar at all?
Yeah.
Well,
Totally.
do you know I do another show on here called the Guar Pod?
Hell
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, you're
And
so busy.
I'm going to be talking to one of the
Gosh,
there's a several guys who collectively call themselves the Guarzeum, and they all have like the old props and costumes, and they kind of they're like those rich Hollywood guys preserving those horror costumes.
Yep.
Except they're not all in one space. Everyone has their own space, but he's one of them, and I'm going to talk to him and nerd out about that.
That's super cool.
Oh, I'll definitely tune in.
Go follow my band Pop Perversion. We're not very active right now, but things are happening underground. Let's see what else. There's only a few copies of my solo record, The Final Boss.
I love that.
Hand-drawn covers, you guys.
That's sick.
Yes. And the follow-up should be out by the end of the year. I gotta just finish mixing that. And here's the documentary, Life and
That
Science
is so cool.
of Dookie Flyswatter and Haunted Garage, LA B-movie royalty and shock rock, and just like all the bands in the 80s used to open for them. Nirvana, White Zombie, Tool, L7.
Oh, wow.
They were the kings of the LA undergrounds. And
It's giving Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah.
well, actually, the guy who did this artwork for me does Garbage Pail Kids cards.
Oh, that's
So you totally hit it right on the nail. And he was a guest on this show, Chad Shears. Go back a few episodes and check it out.
Hell yeah.
So you hit it right there. You are a horror fan.
I am.
Well, this has been super cool. Thank you so much for doing this. I look forward to anything Go Betty Goes deals in the future. Are there any immediate future plans? There's a show coming up, right?
Yes. So we're playing Reggie's in Chicago on the 12th, October 12th. Yes.
That one, right? Yeah, cool.
I love that flyer. It's so good.
Did Nicolette do it?
Yep.
She did.
Yeah. It's on brand, I see.
Yeah, I think she's staying in the theme for this whole
The album cycle. Yeah, for sure.
They're doing this. I think it works.
Are you gonna wear your sailor outfits?
I think we might do it next time we play together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was fun.
I love a theme.
Or at least some kind of theme. We like the matching outfit. And it makes it a little easier. And it's just funny because we already all kind of had a lot of the stuff in our closet.
Right.
We just got a few extra like fun stuff. So it was
amazing.
Good.
Well,
again.
I can't wait to see what's next. Thank you for being here. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Help me beat the algorithm.
Yeah, go Dodgers.
What?
I think they're down. I think they're down right now.
I don't know what that means. I don't do the sports thing. But sure, go Dodgers. Why not? And if you don't like them, put it in the comments.
Yes.
Sorry, I cut you off with the
I
song.
we're going to jump into the game right after this to watch.
Oh, okay, great. There's baseball on TV. Is it baseball?
Yeah.
It's baseball on TV.
Go sports.
Woo!
Woo!